How the Internet was invented. The Internet has proved to be one of the most useful technologies invented in the present day. It is a vast carrier of a wide range of information, resources and services like multimedia data, email, file transfer and sharing, e-commerce, online chat, gaming, and so on. The Internet has made life so easy and comfortable that no one needs to travel miles just to get needed information as was done in the olden days. Relevant information, products or services can now be gotten through the Internet at a reliable and faster rate. How it came to be. The term Internet was first adopted in the first letter published on Transmission Control Protocol (TCP) in December 1974. The term Internet is an abbreviation of Internet Working. Inter meaning between and net was short for network. An Internet is any network using TCP or IP. The invention of the Internet was a project carried out by different pioneering scientists, programmers and engineers. Therefore, its invention cannot be attributed to only one person, because each of these people developed features and ideas, and they merged these ideas together to create what the Internet is today. The Internet passed through various stages of development before it became what it is today. Many scientists had already anticipated the existence of worldwide networks of information. To start with, Nikola Tesla toyed with the idea of a world wireless system in the early 1900s. The first practical semantic for the Internet did not arrive until the early 1960s when MIT's JCR Licklider popularized the idea of the intergalactic network of computers in August 1962. Discussing his intergalactic network concept, Licklider envisioned a globally interconnected set of computers through which everyone could quickly access data and programs from any site. This concept was very much like the Internet of today. Licklider became the first head of the Computer Research Program at DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, in October 1962. While at DARPA, he convinced his successors, Ivan Sutherland, Bob Taylor, and MIT researcher Lawrence G. Roberts of the importance of this networking concept. Leonard Kleinrock at MIT published the first paper on packet switching theory in July 1961 and the first book on the subject in 1964. Kleinrock convinced Roberts of the theoretical feasibility of communications using packets rather than circuits, which was a major step along the path towards computer networking. Another key step was to make the computers talk together. To explore this, in 1965, while working with Thomas Merrill, Roberts connected the TX2 computer to the Q32 in California with a low-speed dial-up telephone line, creating the first, however, small wide-area computer network ever built. The result of this experiment was the realization that the time-shared computers could work well together, running programs and retrieving data as necessary as the remote machine, but that the circuit-switched telephone system was totally inadequate for the job. Kleinrock's conviction of the need for the pack switching was confirmed. The ARPANET, Advanced Research Projects Agency Network, was funded by the US Department of Defense. It was a contract awarded to the US Department of Defense, directed by Robert Taylor and managed by Lawrence Roberts in 1960. One of the features of ARPANET was that it used packet switching to allow multiple computers to communicate on a single network. Another major evolution was the development of the packet switching, but before it was introduced, there was an issue of connecting separate physical networks to one logical network. The early network used message switch systems. It required a rigid routing structure prone to a single point of failure. In the 1960s, the Research and Development Corporation, RAND, produced a study of a survivable network for the US military in the event of nuclear war. Information that needed to be transmitted across a barren network will be divided into what he called the message blocks. Donald Davis volunteered to help in this, and he was the first to put into practice a local area network based on the packet switching. The idea and concept of wide area network originated in a computer laboratory in the UK. The packet switching network was a rapid network design that divided messages into arbitrary packets. Following the design of the packet switch, Donald Davis became interested in data communication for computer networks. The packet switching network was first demonstrated by Donald Davis at the National Physics Laboratory in the UK. The laboratory later became a test bed for other UK researchers for almost 2 decades. Davis's concept of packet switch would later be adopted and applied for the wide area network by Larry Roberts. In 1965, Davis designed and proposed a national data network based on packet switching. He made a proposal the following year that would make him use an interface computer to act as a router. It was not taken up nationally until 1967, when the pilot experiment brought in the feasibility to packet switch network, and by 1969 he built the mask switched network to meet the needs of the multidisciplinary laboratory. In late 1966, Roberts went to DARPA to develop the computer network concept and quickly put together his plan for ARPANET based on the packet network. In 1969, the first message was sent over the ARPANET from Leonard Kleinrock's laboratory at the University of California, Los Angeles, to the second network node at the Stanford Research Institute. ARPANET, as it was known, was soon combined with technology like email. The email was developed in 1971 by Ray Tomlinson and was so useful that by 1973 it made up 3/4 of the traffic on the network. By this time, there were 40 individual networks connected to ARPANET. The first connection across the Atlantic Ocean also happened in 1973 when University College London was connected. Around this time, other networks similar to ARPANET were being created in other countries. A system was developed to connect these networks together. The technology to develop a better internet continued to grow in the 1970s after Robert Taylor, a scientist, developed the TCP and IP Internet Protocol. The TCP and IP set standards for how data could be transmitted between multiple networks. By 1976, 12 computers and 75 terminal devices were attached to the packet switch network. The network was replaced by ARPANET. The ARPANET later adopted the TCP and IP on January 1st, 1983. After this, researchers began to assemble the network of networks that will become the modern internet today. A portion of ARPANET was broken off as a separate network in 1984 by the US military. They called it the MILNET. That is the military network. The MILNET became an unclassified network as it was for the military only. In the same period, the NIPRNET, Non-Classified Internet Protocol, a private network used to exchange non-classified data that needed strict control over its dissemination, was government-owned and restricted to non-commercial use. The internet began to take shape gradually as it became recognizable in 1990. In 1990, the first publicly available ISP, Internet Service Provider, started and internet access became a possibility to the general public. The web, which was invented by Tim Berners-Lee, helped to popularize the internet among the public by linking hypertext document into an information system accessible from any node on the network. This step served as a crucial one in developing the vast trove of information that most of us today can access on a daily basis. In 1993, the web browsers came into play, such as the Mosaic and the website for the government of the United States. The Hotmail was launched as the first web-based email service. The internet today has a revolutionary impact on culture, commerce, and technology. The internet represents one of the most successful examples of the benefits of sustained investment and commitment to the development of information and infrastructure. Thank God for the internet. You wouldn't have been able to watch this video about the internet. Thank you for watching our videos. We'd like to give you another interesting video for you to enjoy next. But before then, our team will be very happy if you can like this video and share it with your friends on social media. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss other interesting videos like this. Look at your screen now to see 2 other videos we handpicked for you to enjoy next. We love you.